Why is President Felix Tshisekedi refusing to have a dialogue with the M23 rebels? Well, in this video, I want us to talk about Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. Yes, it is one of the African nations in Africa continent. Democratic Republic of Congo, it is a heart to the African economy. It is a heart to African development because it is based right in the center of Africa. And it has a lot of minerals which we believe that it is a key to development of the African economy. Therefore, it is our responsibility to talk about it because it is part of Africa continent. As you all know by now that a lot has been happening already over there in the Democratic Republic of Congo, whereby the country is being occupied by some rebellions of the M23 backed by Rwanda. For some times now, they are taking city after city, and this is not looking good for the government of Kinshasa. But these M23 rebellion groups on their side, they kind of like wanting to negotiate with the government. But the government of Kinshasa, led by President Felix Tshisekedi, it is kind of like refusing to negotiate with this M23. Hence, we ask the question to know, why is Felix Tshisekedi refusing to negotiate with the M23? What could be his reasons? Well, that's why we're here. Last weekend, we also, the President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, President Felix Tshisekedi, who held a meeting with some of the parliament members where he get to discuss different matters that concern the security of Democratic Republic of Congo. And he get to reveal serious revelations through this meeting. And the president of country, we had to also explain the reason why the Congolese army seem to be failing so far when they're supposed to be resisting against these M23 rebellions which are backed by Rwanda. Instead, these M23 rebellions, they are occupying the country in a very easy way without fighting. All the Congolese troops who were in the front line, they are running away without them fighting. Normally, in the world of army, that's not allowed. That's what they call betrayal, because when a soldier saw in, obviously they say only until death do them apart. So there's no way, there's no time to betray the nation. There's no what, because these are people who's supposed to be sacrificing their life in order for them to protect the sovereignty of their country. That is what we all know, the vow which every soldier usually make around the world. But in case of DR Congo, it seems to be something very different, because these soldiers now, instead of them fighting against the enemy, instead of them fighting to protect their territories, they are letting go of this M23 just easy, and the M23 is winning in all these cities that we mentioned. Of course, it is Bukavu and Goma and some of part of the eastern of DR Congo. So all the world leaders who choose to be quiet about these matters, who choose to keep or to be silent, they rather prefer to talk about things which is happening in Ukraine, on how Donald Trump want to bring peace in Ukraine, on how Donald Trump kind of like want to take over Gaza. These are the kind of the topic which these people, they have choose to even discuss about it through their mainstream medias. But when it comes to what is happening in Africa continent, when it comes to what is happening in the DRC or what is happening over there in Darfur, in South Sudan, this is not what it is in the agenda. And as I always tell you every time, that these people, when they're doing all these things, is because they know very well that they have a lot to lose from all this, because they know very well that they are the real mastermind behind all this conflict that we get to see in Africa continent from one country to another country, because they know very well that it is very impossible for them to go ahead and colonize Africans or Africa continent again, but they will have to colonize the African economy by using some puppets and put them in front, and then this puppet will come and bring a lot of instability in the country. In meantime, them will be busy looting the African minerals. This is the kind of the strategy that these people, they've been applying all this time, and they've been doing this. Well, we understand, I mean, that is how they are, but it is up to us Africans to also understand, or to come up with an idea of what we can do in order for us to stop this kind of nonsense from the western part. Now, we all know that this M23, they were backed by the government of Kigali under the leadership of Paul Kagame. And these people, they comes with their own agenda. The agenda that hides a lot of things. Because this is the deal which happened between Paul Kagame and the Western. The Western who are wanting to have these Congolese minerals. And on the other side, Paul Kagame sees this as an opportunity in order for him to develop his country, in order for him to build this country, in order for him to do a lot of things, as you get to see it in Rwanda. So he's taking advantage of the whole situation. And at the same time, he kind of like wanting to take over some part of the Congo, which have these capital mineral resources, so that it can be under his leadership. And that is the reason why he have done so much in the past years to make sure that all the leadership in Kinshasa, they should be under his control, they should be under his influence. He must be able to say something about Congolese politics. And he succeeded in the past years. So right now, he kind of like finding or coming across a certain kind of a block or a challenge which does not make things easy for him. And that is the reason why we get where we are today. So, all the world leaders, world organizations, I'm referring to the UN, I'm referring to the EU or AU, which is African Union or European Union, name it as you wish. All these organizations, they are coming out forward. Instead of them condemning what Rwanda is doing in another sovereign country, they are not doing so. They are preferring to come and say that no, we're calling for both parts, they must respect each other for this and that. But come to think of it, in the reality, we're only seeing one part which is being the victim. We're only seeing one part which people are busy dying each and every day. We're only seeing one part which is suffering even the most. So now we end up understanding that actually they're finding it very hard for them to sanction Rwanda. They're finding it very hard for them to condemn what the government of Kigali is doing in Kinshasa. All because they have something to win, as I just explained to you what strategy the Western they have in place in order for them to continue looting African minerals. So they are calling for the government of Kinshasa, they are calling for Tshisekedi to go ahead and negotiate with these rebels of the M23. On the other side, President Tshisekedi, he came also and refused to negotiate with these people. Yeah, he refuses. He says that it's not going to work because these people, they're just puppets, referring to the leadership of the M23 rebel group, that they're just puppets. If he have to negotiate, if he have to dialogue, then he should do it with Kigali straight away. In other words, he want only to dialogue with Paul Kagame, because he know very well that it's Paul Kagame who's the mastermind behind all these rebels. And these so-called Congolese M23 rebel groups, they are coming not with their own agendas as a Congolese. They are coming with their agendas which is being imposed by them, by the Westerns and Rwanda, so that once the government of Congo, they will accept to dialogue with them, then all these conditions that they will have to impose on the Congolese government, it should be applied. Guys, don't forget that, for your own information, just in case maybe you were not aware. Do you know that when President Laurent Kabila came in power after removing Mobutu Sese Seko, who was the president of Zaire back then for 32 years, he removed him, he took power, he became the president of Congo. Do you know that Congo used to have some of the high-profile official of Rwanda in the army who were there as the right first person in the Congolese army. And here I'm talking about people such as James Kabarebe. This person, he was actually the command-in-chief of the Congolese army. Where have you seen such a thing? Whereby another soldier who comes from another country and come and take over the control of the entire army. Do you know what does that mean? Which means your secret service is being infiltrated. Which means everything you can do as a nation, this person will be in possession of all the necessary informations. They can even dig through back some files and see what you guys have done in the past. They'll have something to use against you because you have taken a foreigner and placed them on the head of your army. And that's what happened back then. So this is something which Paul Kagame with his government, they were used to. They were hoping that things will remain the same way each and every time. So that when these rebellions, they have to dialogue with the government, they'll come and ask them things. Like right now, for those who've been aware of the Nairobi peace dialogue of peace deal, which was being led by President Ruth Kenyatta. Is it Ruth Kenyatta? No, not Ruth. What is his name? President Kenyatta, and the one of Angola under the President Joao Lorenzo. These leaders, they were chosen by the African Union in order for them to implement peace among these nations. Now, what is happening? These people, they kind of like coming up with their chapter, like they whatever they have in, whatever they want the government of Kinshasa to do for them. And one of it, surprisingly, they are saying that no, they want the official Rwandan language, which is, I think it is a Kenya Rwanda. They want it to be implemented or to be one of the official language in DRC. And these are the things which this so-called M23, who's supposed to be Congolese, they are asking for their government to take one of the Rwandan official language to be also in Congo language. How do you find that? How do you understand what does that all mean? Who's coming up with these ideas? Because when they are being asked, why are you doing this? They say that no, because this same language is also being spoken in Congo. Yes, it can be spoken in Rwanda, but it's also being spoken in Congo by those Congolese Tutsi. Congolese Tutsi. That's another long story, because you need to understand how come Tutsis, they are in Rwanda and at the same time they are also in Congo. That's a very long story that we'll discuss with you again in our next video. But that's it. They want this minority Tutsi language, which is being spoken in their country in Rwanda, should be they should start speaking about it in Congo. Already you can tell that these M23, they are not there to represent people of Congo, but they are there to represent Rwanda and what Rwanda need for the Congolese government to do for them. So already, the kind of negotiation which this M23 want to have with the government of Kinshasa, it does not allow them to, it does not make the government of Kinshasa to feel comfortable to trust these people. And that is where now Felix Tshisekedi, as the president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, decided to come forward and give this message to everyone around the world that yes, I hear you. You guys are kind of telling me that I should negotiate with these people. Okay, fine, we can negotiate, but the truth is I'm not going to negotiate with these people because they're just puppets who are representing another nation which is at war with Congo people, Congolese people. Therefore, if I have to dialogue, then I'll have to dialogue only with Paul Kagame. That is the President Tshisekedi who have to pass that kind of message. So he have now to elaborate more the reason why he does not want to dialogue of this M23. Don't forget, again, for your own information, the leader of the M23, Kone Nanga, this man is the one who had organized the elections which had proclaimed Felix Tshisekedi as the winner in 2019. This is the same man now who goes and hold guns to start fighting the same man that he had declared as the winner of this election. And when it's being asked, why are you doing this to the same man that you had declared that is the one who won the election, it's kind of like, no, he never won the election. Those are the serious allegations. And then it's kind of like, no, I apologize. I'm here to do things in the right way by destroying the monster that I have created. So these people all along, they were Congolese, they were living their normal life all over in Congo. But all of a sudden, they end up finding themselves in the bush and start fighting the government. And we all know that this all drama will have finished long time ago. The moment when Felix Tshisekedi and Paul Kagame had accepted to meet in Rwanda, which is in Angola, capital city. They're supposed to meet there so that they can have a proper conversation, they can have a better understanding, they can dialogue and find a solution to all this. But surprisingly, in the last minute, Paul Kagame disappeared. He was nowhere to be found. He refused to go and meet his homologue in Angola. Why? Obviously because there were already a lot which is being said, or there were already a lot of pressure which Paul Kagame have to receive also from his allies, from the western part, whereby they will tell him that no, if you go there, which means we have to cease the fire, but what about our money that we have spent so far? Are you going to pay us that money back? Because we still need this. So don't show your face over there. Rush up with the plan B, which is to attack the Congolese government. Paul Kagame refuses to go to meet Felix Tshisekedi in Angola. In less than few weeks or month, Goma was under attack and taken by the M23 rebellion groups. That is a way of just showing that no, actually, the peace dialogue which President Tshisekedi was planning to have with Rwanda, it was not in the agenda because it was going to make him become the winner and then become the loser because they have spent a lot of money. So what they did, he ended up sending his troops there. They went in at the first, it was all about him denying the whole situation. When he's being asked, Mr. President, what do you know about this? Mr. President, blah, blah, blah. You see Paul Kagame keep on denying. He keep on denying because he knew very well that this was not going to be easy for him. But as time goes, when everything shows in a black and white that it's Paul Kagame with Rwandan army who are busy fighting the government of Kinshasa, then he start now defending himself and saying that no, we'll do anything, even if we have to give our life or sign a contract with the devil, we'll do it in order for us to protect Rwanda with everything that we have won so far from all this conflict. So these are the things which end up making his homologue Felix Tshisekedi to not dialogue, because he kind of like, if you have to dialogue, these people that are coming in, they want to be integrated in the Congolese army, and among them there's a lot of foreigners, there's a lot of Rwandan troops who are inside there, who were being nominated as generals and captains and commandos, not because they went and fought somewhere and they won and they deserved those great, but because they nominate them by Kigali so that if the Congolese government have to accept to dialogue with these people, they should be integrated in Congolese army with the same titles. If you are a general, you should continue to be a general. If you are a normal soldier, you should continue to be a normal soldier. And these people, they want them to be in the high rank of the Congolese army. So in a simple English, or in a English for Africa, what I'm trying to say is that their missions, according to the President Tshisekedi on what he said, these people, they kind of like wanting to be involved in Congolese army by allowing them to be having high profile posts. I mean, they can be able to command things around. But majority of these people, they are not Congolese. And that is what everyone is saying. It's not like I'm making this up. Even the UN report, it says the same thing. Over more than 4,000 soldiers of Rwanda, they are in that M23 rebellion groups. Forget about these soldiers who are being captured by this M23 group rebellions. Because when they capture them, they will put them among their side, and then they'll say that no, these are Congolese. No, they are not Congolese. These are Congolese that they were being captured by this rebellion group. Therefore, they kind of like now trying to mix them with these foreigners troops so that it will look like it is all about Congolese affairs. So Felix Tshisekedi refused to have dialogue with this M23. Even though they are occupying the big cities in the eastern of Congo, he says no, he's not going to dialogue with them. If you have to dialogue, there's only one person that you want to dialogue with, which is Paul Kagame. For what reasons? Of course, the man knows his reasons. But right now, he knows very well that no, the M23, they're just the puppets. And he even said that the M23, if you have to dialogue with them, tomorrow, they'll wake up again. They'll say that, no, you guys, we had negotiated about this, but did not respect our negotiation. So therefore, we are going back again in the bush. So, and this kind of drama, it will continue and continue. So right now, Felix Tshisekedi is refusing to do something which most of these Congolese leaders never done before. Because every time when they will attack a town or a territory, well, the government of Kinshasa back then will have to accept and welcome these people to the table for negotiation. But Felix Tshisekedi is like, no, if I have to dialogue, I'd rather dialogue with other Congolese, like opponents in the countries, you know, other people like Congolese who are not killing, who are not holding guns, who are not violating everything, or who are not at the service of the foreigners. So those that are the kind of dialogue that Felix Tshisekedi want to dialogue with these people. But for the rest, he really don't care about that. So now you understand the reason why this M23, they are getting even more wings, because the government of Kinshasa that's supposed to dialogue with them, it is refusing, and for the obvious reason that we just elaborate for you in this video. I believe that will be all for now, guys. It was very important that we get to talk about these matters that concern the DRC, because this country, guys, there's a lot of potentials when it comes to development of African economy. So I think it is very important for us to talk about this, because if we don't talk about this, it's just like a part of your body which is being sick, and yet you are not paying attention to it. Sooner or later, it's going to affect you in one way or other way. It's going to be more painful for you because it is part of your body. And DRC, it is part of Africa continent. So it is very important for us to talk about it here at Cool Buzz TV, because it is a Pan-African platform where we talk about African matters. So it was very important that we come here and try to talk to you, elaborate a little bit more about the decision which the president of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, has just taken to reject any kind of negotiations with this M23. Instead, he accepts to go to dialogue only with Congolese. Congolese who are not having bloods on their hands, Congolese who are not in possession of guns, and Congolese who are not at the service of the Western. These are the kind of people he preferred to negotiate with them, perhaps maybe coming up with a government of national unity, so that they can be able to face all this Western fight. Because, guys, this matters is not simple. Like, you even heard Felix Tshisekedi explaining, saying that this is not all about Rwanda with Paul Kagame, because Paul Kagame does not fabricate smartphones. Paul Kagame does not fabricate electrical cars such as a Tesla. Paul Kagame does not have all these manufacturers. Paul Kagame is just there to collect the Congolese minerals and pass it to the Western. So the problem is these people. Now, if Felix Tshisekedi manage to dialogue with Paul Kagame and have a proper understanding with him, that will motivate Paul Kagame to say no and refuse to the Western. And that will change everything, because Paul Kagame is also one of the puppets which the Western are using in order for them to put their hands on Congolese minerals. That it is the truth, and we're not lying about that, because we're not making this up. For an example, look how they are now busy fighting among themselves in Europe. All these European countries, they are now fighting. You see on the other side, we're having Belgium, who's busy threatening up these European countries and planning to do something crazy to reveal the secret. On the other side, we're having Americans who are so hypocrite and choose to be silenced from all this, because both Elon Musk and all these people, they're the one who get to win from these Congolese minerals. And once these minerals is being stopped from them getting it, it's gonna drop their economy down. So once again, it was very important for us to have this conversation, so that we should not let anyone fool us, so that we should not let anyone misinform us or mislead us. Instead, we should know that this is a problem which has to do with two African countries, and these African countries, they need to sit down and have a better understanding of one another, a better conversation, in order for us to have peace everywhere around Africa continent. So that's what I had to say with you, but I'm looking forward to also see your comments in the comment section. I want to hear from you. I want to see your opinion. Tell us what you think. Do you think it's a good idea for the fact that Felix Tshisekedi reject to dialogue with this M23 group, even though they are occupying some big cities in the eastern of Congo? Or do you think is making a very big mistake for refusing to negotiate with them? Tell us also your thoughts about it in the comment section. We'll have a look on that. Well, guys, I think that is it for now. Continue to be yourself. Be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.